Here's how you can use our brand new cumulative volume delta indicator to find some amazing setups on not only futures, but also stocks, options, FX, and even crypto. And this works on any candlestick type, not just our typical Renko brick that we showcase. This is going to work fantastic on normal and Heiken Ashi as well. Our director of software development, Anthony, is going to break down this indicator in depth and how to find profitable and simple trade setups. If you're new to the channel, my name is Mike Santucci. I am the founder and CEO of QuantVue. We make TradingView and NinjaTrader tools specifically designed for intermediate to advanced traders. We have over 4,000 traders in our Discord community posting wins with our tools, using those every single day. Without further ado, let's just jump right into this.
All right, we're going to discuss the CVD indicator. This is the cumulative volume delta indicator. And first of all, we'll discuss what cumulative volume delta is. Essentially, here at the bottom of the screen, of course, we have our volume indicator. Now, what that does is it tracks the number of contracts or shares that are traded in that time period. And cumulative delta is the difference between the green bars and the red bars. So if you have a green bar, you do plus the number of contracts. If you have a red bar, you do minus the number of contracts. And the difference is called delta. So that's how it tracks that. Now, over time, if you look at the bottom of the screen here, you'll see the QCVD indicator. Over time, that difference starts to become kind of pronounced and even profound in certain areas. I'll show you here. For example, right here, see this huge dip right here. And this is a fantastic example of what this indicator can do. And you see this huge dip, and then we see this smaller dip here combined with this low here and a lower low over here. Now you're going to notice these are divergent, and you're also going to notice these white lines informing you of the fact that they are divergent. Now, when we have a big downward push like this on the volume graph, that indicates that there is a lot of selling pressure behind it. You'll notice that there's also a lot here going on in the volume indicator on the screen there. So we had a lot of downward volume, and we just kind of went sideways on low volume here, and then we came down again to an even lower price, but the volume was nowhere near as enthusiastic. So that precipitated this really nice rally right here. And that's one of the big uses of the cumulative volume delta gauge. It can help you find those divergences. Here's another one right here. We can look at this. We have, this is the opposite kind, right? So we have this right here. So this is where it diverged. And we have, let's see, this here on the peak. And this one right here was a higher high. It says, hey, we actually had lower volume, and it's hard to tell, but it actually was lower volume just by a little bit. And boom, down it goes. Okay, we've got the same thing over here. We got this divergence. Okay, so we had high in volume right here, and we had lower enthusiasm right here, yet a higher high in price, and what followed? Boom. So you can see just today, looking at this thing is 3 for 3 on divergences. And that is mostly what I use this indicator for, is finding those divergences. And sometimes there's different types of divergences too. Let me show you this one over here. And let me adjust the background coloring a little bit so that we can, so we can see this a little better. There we go. I just turned all the background dark. That's all that was. Now we also have these sort of inside divergences. You see this right here. See where it went to, and then this one down. And it follows. There's another one here at the top. So you'll see we went down to here on this last one and had this little move up. You'll see we went over to here and we had this little move down. Look at that. It's calling it ahead of time. It's telling you what's going to happen. Okay. All of these right here where they finished. Now, sometimes you'll see them in streaks like this, right? I like to look at where it ends, because sometimes the divergences will kind of keep going. See how it's a longer line? I like to look at the one that ends, and if you had done that, you'd see right here we have a move up, and right here we have a move down. Boom. It called both ends of that move. Now, the other thing here on the indicator are going to be the blue and yellow lines. The yellow line I'll talk about first, because that actually corresponds to some of the volume information that you'll find in some of the strategies when it says, filter entries by volume. It's that yellow line. That yellow line is essentially a prediction of where volume is headed, and it is adjustable in here, and it's adjustable analogous to the same number that you will find in the it's a fast-moving average length here in the strategies, but that kind of gives you an idea overall of which direction volume is headed. The other one is just a slow moving average of it. That's all it is. So you can look for these crossovers. So right here, we have a crossover, and it comes way before the actual movement of it, but it's just something, to keep in mind. Keep in mind, it's like, hey, we might see volume going the other direction. Same thing here. We had a crossover. It's like, hey, we might see volume going the other direction. Same thing here. Crosses over. Okay, we might see it going the other direction. Same thing here. Crosses over. All right, we might see it going the other direction. And it just kind of keeps doing it right here at the end of the day. Yep, and look, we had that little pop right into the close. So that's generally what that is doing. Here's a really cool example. Sometimes what it can do. See how it just kind of tapped the line and then fell back off of it? And look what happened right there. It was literally right here. So there's a lot of uses for this indicator. And generally what you're going to be doing is looking for these big moves and divergences off of them. This right here is grade A setup for this indicator. Absolutely perfect setup. You want to see these big divergences right here like this. And then you get that nice big trade right there. And if you get a couple of those every day, well, you're a winner. So that's how you're going to use this thing. And we'll go through the settings real quick. So moving average length, that's just the longer blue line. The fast one, I just told you, that's the yellow line. Divergence look back length. So you can increase this if you want to look back further for more divergences. Personally, I like this at 7, so I leave it at 7. And then the moving averages colors, and then the down and up colors. That was the histogram coloring that I had on just a moment ago. Hold on, let me restore it for you. Okay, now here it is, refreshed with coloring back, and you'll notice it's kind of keyed to the background, right? So when it goes red, that means we're seeing mostly downward volume, right? So this whole area, we're kind of seeing bearish volume. This whole area, we're kind of seeing bullish volume. It's just a way to kind of look at it at a glance and see what's going on. You may or may not like it. Some people love it, some people hate it. Personally, I turn it off just like I showed you before, and that's up to you. It's personal preference. And then there also are alerts on here. So what you'll do is come over under Style. You can actually turn them on over here, and it'll show you little triangles, and they'll pop up and they'll say, hey, get ready for something to happen. That's what it's trying to tell you. Right here. So yeah, it's trying to tell you that, hey, something is going to happen. The momentum is shifting, and you'll see where it goes from moving up like that, and it'll turn this lower color. That means something is happening. So use that as you will. Some people like it, some people hate it. Personally, I turn it off, and it comes by default off in the indicator, so that's why that's turned off. But it is there if you find it useful. You may find that useful on, more useful on some tickers than on others. So now I know I'm going to get the question, what is the best settings? And I ship this thing with settings that tend to kind of work on almost anything, almost any ticker or time frame. I find these settings work really well on. You can adjust them a little bit if you'd like, but these are the settings that I like, and they're the ones I ship it with. So there you go. That's the answer to that question. If you have any other questions on it, just go ahead and post in the Elite chat or the Pro Lounge, and we'll talk to you about the CVD indicator. Other than that, thanks for listening. Take care.
So if you want that exact toolkit that Anthony showcased in today's video, be sure to click the first link in the description. You will be able to try it 100% free for 14 days, along with all of our other tools, as well as our Discord Pro member area, along with all of our training content and more. Also in the description, link to our free 4,000 plus member Discord community. We are about to cross 5,000 members in there, so be sure to hop in 100% free. You'll be able to see these tools being used every single day. That's all I got for you in this one. Hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. See you in the next one.